Okay, hi all. It is Miss Larson and it is Friday, April 28th. So let's do this. Today we're going to be continuing talking about our essential nutrients, which we started on Monday, briefly just introed it. And now we're going to dive a little bit deeper. So you have a note sheet in front of you, and we're going to be pasting it into your nutrition notebook when I get back. We just didn't have time this week because we were making the burrito bowls and SBA and whatnot. So hopefully you've done your do now. You answered the question, what does cross contamination mean? And you turned it into your class period's orange bucket. Cross contamination, as a reminder, is when bacteria is transferred from one place to another. So that could be from your cutting board to your knife, to the counter, to food, from our hands, etc. And that's why there's this gross picture of raw chicken and carrots on the same cutting board. Okay, so now we're going into our essential nutrients notes. And these are some basic things I would love for you guys to know. Okay, so this hot topic at the moment is carbohydrates, because carbs are sometimes people see them as like bad when it comes to nutrition and weight loss, which isn't true. The problem is when science like this arises, it can be taken a step too far, and people do things like cut out carbs altogether, which is a detriment to their overall health. What a lot of people don't realize is that carbs can be extremely healthy, and they're found in foods like fruits and starchy vegetables, like potatoes and whatnot, as well as more recognizable sources like grains and bread. Carbs are essential because they are a primary source of energy. They help our brain, they help our central nervous system, our kidneys, and our muscles to function. There are two main categories of carbs: complex and simple. Complex carbs are like whole grains. So this could be brown rice, buckwheat, whole wheat stuff. And vegetables are also complex. And then simple is anything that's kind of sugary, also including white bread. Okay, so a lot of things can be carbs. Vegetables, fruits, and whole grains are full of fiber, which help reduce risk of heart disease, and it also helps lessen our likelihood of sugar crashes and food cravings. So it keeps us fuller for longer. Okay, so those are our carbs. Next is protein. So protein we need because it helps build our muscles and it fills us up, keeps us full, and it helps build and repair our tissues in the body, our muscles. Protein is the major structural component of cells, and it's responsible for all those things. When consumed as food, protein is broken down into something called amino acids. Our body has 11 amino acids, but nine of them, we still need nine because we need a total of 20. So that's why we have to get those nine from our protein. And this could come from both animal and plant sources. For animal sources, we have meat, dairy, eggs, and then for plant sources, we have beans, soy, nuts, and legumes. Okay, next is fat. So for a long time, fat was considered like an enemy. Like in the 1990s, there was a big trend of buying everything that was low fat or fat free, which they just pumped a bunch of other chemicals in there. So people are now realizing that fats are actually good for us, if within moderation, and depends on what types of fats we're eating. But we do need fat as a human. It's an essential nutrient. So having said that, many Western diets often consume too much fat or the wrong types of fats. So when consumed in appropriate amounts, fat is used by the body as a source of energy and actually helps us absorb vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K. Also, fats and oils insulate the body and cushion the organs from shock. So, up to 35% of your daily calorie intake should be in a form of fat. Omega 3 is a healthy fat, and it can be found in fish, walnuts, flax seeds, certain vegetable oils like olive oil, which we cook with. Nuts, seeds, and avocados are also some like healthy plant-based fatty foods. Some foods to just be like mindful of. So it means you can still totally eat it, but just careful of the amount are like fatty meats, and dairy. So things like butter, cheese, red meat, like steak. All right, next, minerals. So minerals, we need these because they help our body maintain proper organ, heart, and respiratory growth. Remember, respiratory is like your lungs, your breathing, so we need those for sure. And then different minerals include sodium, potassium, calcium, chloride, magnesium, iodine, and iron. And if you look at the picture I've put, a bunch of different foods have different minerals. So that's why on Monday we talked about how we need to eat a variety of foods, because sometimes it can be overwhelming, or it's like, how am I supposed to get all of those things? We need to eat lots of different types of foods to make sure we get them. Okay. Next is vitamins. Okay, so we hear a lot about how important vitamins are, and like people have come out with things like vitamin water, which I'm pretty sure is fake. Like, I don't think they put a lot of vitamins in there, but don't quote me. But we need vitamins to maintain our body so that it functions through healthy cells, nerves, skin, and tissues. So just overall. You guys have probably heard about like vitamin D. It comes from the sun, and it's good for us, but also careful because our skin can get messed up from the sun. But essential vitamins include A, B, C, D, E, and K. And again, looking at this picture, there's a bunch of different foods that have a bunch of different vitamins. So if you're ever curious, look on the nutrition label. But we need to make sure, again, that we're eating a variety of foods to get all these things. All right, I'm almost done. Water is the next thing we need to make sure we get, because our body's made out of like 70% water, I think. It's the most important nutrient that humans literally cannot live without, and along with oxygen, and it's considered a life source. So water helps our bodies process through vitamins. It regulates our body temperature, and it keeps us hydrated. It ensures that our body maintains homeostasis, transports nutrients to cells, and helps our body remove waste products. Adult men are supposed to drink about 2 liters of water per day, and women are supposed to drink about 1.6 liters. I've always heard of the rule being like about 8 glasses of water. But if you use more energy, or it depends on how much you sweat, what type of climate you live in. So you just drink water. You can also consume water through food. So things that have high water content are like watermelon, cucumber, celery, lettuce, and cantaloupe. All right, fiber. It is not an essential nutrient technically, but it's known as the 7th essential nutrient. To sum it up, fiber helps you poop, okay? We need this. Fiber is a type of carb that our body literally can't digest, because most carbs are broken down into sugar molecules and the whole chemistry of it. But just know that fiber can't be processed, and so it's just passed through the body undigested. Dietary fiber, which is found in like fruits and veggies, whole grains, legumes, which is a fancy word for beans, is probably best known for its help to like prevent or relieve constipation. But foods that have high fiber also can help us maintain a healthy weight, lower your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and some types of cancer. Children and adults are supposed to have between 25 to 35 grams per day, but most Americans only get 15 grams a day. So let's be better. And great sources of this are whole grains, whole fruits and veggies, legumes, and nuts. So yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the note sheet, which you've been diligently filling out, right, as I've been going. Hopefully you've been pausing, because I think I've been talking kind of quickly. But you should have all of this filled out. And if you don't, go back to the slides or my video and rewatch it, because I give you all of the answers for the most part. Okay. Now, excuse me. There are 2 questions at the end that say week 5 reflection. I'm only making you do 2 race questions, so please don't be whining. I want to hear one thing that worked well this week while making burrito bowls. And you can think about the day we prepped, like cut all the stuff, made the rice, made the marinade, and then the day we actually made it. And then I would love you to tell me one thing that you wish your group had done differently. So remember, when we're using race stands for restate the question and answer it. So my example is, what's your favorite class period? I said, my favorite class period is 3rd period. So I restated and I answered it. Then I cited an example and explained. That's the end of race, right? Because we spell it RACE. My example is, during 3rd period, it's calm and quiet. There you go. And then I further explained it with one more question or sentence saying, because of this atmosphere, I'm able to get lots of work done and it improves my day. Before you get all butthurt that I didn't choose your class period, it's because 3rd period's my planning. So you're fine. And then lastly, think about, I know in our reflection, sometimes you guys just say something that went well was cooking, and I'm going to push you to go more in depth now that this is the 3rd week that we've been doing reflection. So you can think about communication, how you guys talk to each other, your time management of everything. Like burrito bowls is a lot happening, a lot going on. And like you had to figure out how to get everything done in time on both days. Food safety, you worked with raw chicken. Teamwork, how you cope with stress. Adaptability, which means like being flexible. How were you following the directions? Your decision making, your planning, your multitasking. How did you manage your emotions? Like, did you get big mad and then you were able to calm yourself down? Staying focused, and then problem solving. So this is what I would like you to have done by the end of class. Okay, I will stop talking now. Go, you do your work. Love you. Bye. Be good.